Nereden alayım? Ne diyordum? Uyduruyordum bir şey.
Al sana blooper.
Am I red? I'm red? Am I red?
3, 2, 1.
Hello guys. This is our pilot, our first episode. Hello Hakancan, welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Can you briefly introduce yourself and maybe tell us about your academic and personal journey so far?
Yeah, I am Hakancan Ozturk. I studied my bachelor's here at Koç University. I did mechanical engineering. I joined in 2020 and graduated in 2023. Afterwards, I went to London to study my master's. I have studied computational science and engineering at Imperial College London, and currently I'm working at a startup as a machine learning engineer. And I recently got an offer from Amazon as a software engineer.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Like, so it means that you finished in 3 years, right? The
Yeah.
school. And how was it? Like, was it hard? Did you take like many courses at the same time? And like, how was it for a student who doesn't know how to take many courses at the same time?
So mechanical engineering at Koç is planned to be, I believe it's planned to end in 3.5 years. But I took extra courses, and coming from the high school that I came from, we had an optional classes. So I took 2 AP courses. Therefore, I skipped 2 courses at mechanical engineering curriculum. So like at the end of the day, it wasn't that hard, but yeah, obviously there were some challenges.
I was also want to ask you about your high school and early interest. You also mentioned that you took like 2 courses from the high school,
Yes.
right? Like, what motivation you had joining the mechanical engineering? Was it intentional? Was it from outside? I mean, did someone tell you just take it, or you had some plans beforehand? Because when I joined the school, I didn't have any intentions. I joined basically like as a business major. After that, I wanted to switch. They told me just leave it the double major and stuff. So, I mean, I didn't have any plans beforehand. What about you?
So I've been to Robert College in Istanbul, and it's a quite renowned school. Like it's one of the best. So I was mostly focusing on the science classes. Therefore, I knew that I wanted to be an engineer, or like I would do something related to science. And like you know the exam that we take here to get into the university. So my list went like Koç Physics, then Koç Mechanical Engineering, and by pure coincidence, I somehow got into mechanical engineering rather than physics. And I thank God every day that I didn't get into physics. So it was a bit coincidental, but like obviously I wanted something technical rather than
Scientific.
rather than business or literature
No one
or
likes
any other
business.
course.
Like, every time I'm getting roasted for my business classes. Okay.
Maybe I can talk a bit about my like research experiences while I was at Koç.
Yeah.
So when I first started, Kerem Hoca was my advisor, and I asked if I could take part in any research projects or like basically conduct some scientific research.
Yes.
And at the time, like he was super like interested, and at the time he had a senior project group that was working on defense industry project.
Great.
So it was the first time that I conducted some research, but it was COVID time, so it wasn't like super detailed hands-on. I was basically reading papers and like trying to contribute to the seniors. And after that, I took part in another research project that was again with Kerem Hoca. It was with a medical apparatus called bag valve mask. It's the balloon-like thing that you see in the movies when a person experiences a car crash or like they go to like when they experience a shock, like they ventilate the person with it. We were trying to automate it.
Okay.
And after that, it's a long list, sorry. After that, I went to Germany to Max Planck Institute, where I had a chance to work with our current president, Metin Sitti.
In Germany, right?
In Germany, yeah.
Was he in the school connected with our school by that
yeah.
time, or?
Yeah. At the time, he was affiliated with the mechanical engineering and I believe the medicine departments, but he wasn't teaching any courses or anything.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was conducting research on microrobotics and how they interact with the blood flow. It's super detailed, so like I grinded for 3 months and I published 2 papers with it.
Great. So by that time, like before Germany, in the Koç, how many articles you had, like
0.
written already? 0, and you had 2. So I mean, you had experience already going to.
Yes.
Going to masters. That's good, by the way.
Yeah.
How did you switch from this scientific bioengineering stuff? I'm right. Kerem Hoca is more interested in that sphere. How did you end up in machine learning, mechanical engineering side? I mean, what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah. So, like even while studying my mechanical engineering degree, I was always interested in the computational field, like computational part of the courses. I also took a couple courses that were a bit heavier on the computational side. So like when I noticed that was my interest, I chose my master's accordingly. So it's just a matter of interest. From like if I need to give an example, for instance, for the fluid dynamics course, we had some simulation homeworks, and that was much more interesting for me compared to the like solving the equations by hand. So yeah, it was mostly interest.
Let's maybe talk more about the technical part. Maybe you can share what you worked on specifically, maybe more details about your master's degree. What would you like to share? What maybe are further works you want to do? Further research maybe?
So for my master's degree, it was a 12-month course, and the first 9 months was learning. So like we would go to classes as if we were in a high school. Like it would start in the morning and in the noon, and then you would have the problem sessions. So the first 9 months was learning about machine learning, deep learning, numerical methods, computational mathematics.
There wasn't any lab interactions?
No, for the first 9 months, no. And then for the last 3 months, which would correspond to the summer.
Summer semester.
We would have the dissertation. And for the dissertation, I chose a topic that was super related to mechanical engineering. So it was about fluid dynamics. More specifically, it was using machine learning methods to predict flow over a car. So it was predicting turbulent flow, and my application was flow over a car. At the end, my work was doing a really great job. So I'm hoping I'll be able to publish it soon.
Hopefully, great.
Yeah, hopefully. So there are a couple PhD students at the same lab that are working on the same project or similar projects.
Continuing it, kind of.
Yeah, continuing.
Very good.
So hopefully in a couple months' time I'll be able to publish, but you never know. Like it takes a while.
Again, related master question. I wanted to ask, how would you compare your model which you designed, right, with the old-fashioned softwares like ANSYS and other CFD programs? Do you have anything to say about that as well?
Yeah. So the model was working on is called a surrogate model. It's like a general name that we call the models that doesn't necessarily replace the traditional methods such as like finite element analysis or any like finite volume analysis or like any of those numerical methods. So it's the branch that I was working on was data-driven models. So we would use the high fidelity CFD data that was coming from a software, like a finite element software, and we would use those data to train the model. But there are a couple other approaches when it comes to modeling physics, such as physics-informed neural networks that uses the underlying equations rather than the data itself. So like there are different approaches, but the advantage of the approach that I was working on is that you just need high quality data, and with that data you can simulate the physics, no matter if it's fluid dynamics, heat transfer, like solid mechanics, it doesn't really matter. You can just simulate it much faster and with a lower computational load. So my model, we would train it for maybe an hour, and then you could generate CFD data that was somehow reliable for the fraction of a cost and time. So like that's the main advantage of using machine learning rather than the traditional methods. It's also a bit like you know that the CFD is not 100% accurate with real life, but not everyone has a wind tunnel. So like we obviously need different methods, and like for the requirements of the project, you decide on the fidelity that you need and the computational loss, like computational power that you have. So it's a bit like a trade-off. So it's not as accurate, but it's also not as slow and as demanding.
Okay, I see. But for example, like for the person who is not very good in, basically what my question is, do you need any computer language background for using it? I mean, could you just, for example, for using ANSYS or other CFD softwares, you should learn the program first, how to apply it. What about your model? Like, should we learn computer language, or maybe there is any kind of manual, I would say, for that?
So for the specifics of my project, I used Python, and I used a library called PyTorch, which is like one of the major libraries that you train neural networks and like inference on them. So I'd say like definitely you would need to know some Python, but with that lab that I was working at, we're trying to package the findings into a like program, like self-managed program, such that like people can just drag and drop geometries and like get the CFD results. So it's a bit different from the softwares that you would normally use, such as ANSYS, COMSOL, OpenFOAM. So ideally, you wouldn't have to mesh, you wouldn't have to like assert lots of boundary conditions. It would just work somehow. It's a black box. It's a machine, like it's a neural network.
For example, it's my undergraduate now. I didn't do my master's, and I'm interested. How is it to switch the school, like start from, like have a new beginning, basically. You don't know anyone. The culture is different. The school is different, and like it's your home country, and you went to another one. Like, how is it basically for someone to do it?
So like obviously it has lots of difficulties and lots of challenges. From a personal like point of view, it's obviously super difficult to change countries, like moving from your hometown. Like you would know better.
Yeah, I know.
So like it wasn't the first time that I went abroad to study or work. I previously did an internship in Germany, but it was only for 3 months. And there were lots of Turkish people when I went there. Like the people that I was working with were mostly Turkish. But when I moved to the UK, like personally, it was super challenging, especially like the life is just like, it's just a downgrade because like I was living at a like pretty bad house. Like it was close to the school, but the house was really
Yeah.
like in a bad condition. And like obviously like English is not my mother tongue, so it's a bit challenging to go out, socialize, like make friends.
You are living like your comfort zone, I would say,
Yeah.
like basically.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
Your home, your family and stuff, it's a bit not very pleasant experience, but you should.
Yeah.
Like, how is social life? Like, I mean, was it, was it, were you enjoying it by that time? Did you have any difficulties making new
Mhm.
friends? And how did you spend your time? I mean, basically outside.
So like, you know, the masters are only 1 year long in the UK.
Mhm.
So it was quite packed, and like the coursework was quite dense. And because I was doing a computational science course, the people weren't as sociable and going
Yeah.
out as much. So it was a different experience coming from Koç to Imperial. But like obviously people go out, like you meet people from other courses.
Mhm.
But the thing with Imperial is that like it's a STEM university, so all the courses are either science, technology, engineering, or maths.
Mhm. Yeah.
So people aren't as
Social.
social. Yeah.
That's when you wish you could take a business course. So
Yeah.
that's when you regretted you are not a business major.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is about social life, but
Yeah.
in Koç specifically.
Yes.
How did you do the friends? I mean, probably you had some from the school, maybe.
Mhm.
Probably you know someone because you live in the same city, or
Mhm.
was it easy? Because as far as I know, for some internationals, yes, they have clubs, they have societies, but I think for Turkish students it's a bit different. How was it specifically for you?
Mhm. You're asking about Koç, right?
Yes, right now about Koç.
So like there were many people coming from my high school. I was friends with many of them. I also made friends in the department. The first year was during the pandemic, so like we wouldn't go out as much.
Yeah.
But like when it was face to face for the second and third year, I like most of my friends were from the mechanical engineering, because our workloads were really parallel. Like it's hard to arrange something like that is studying another course. I don't know if it makes sense, but like if you are really study oriented, then you have lots of deadlines. The other person has lots of deadlines. So from my side, it was like many of my friends were from the same course.
Yeah, I guess so. Mostly, you made friends from the projects, from the group work, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see. I see.
And for socializing, like similar to everyone, we would go to Batı, eat. We would go to the gym. There is this horde
This
of
one-
people coming from mechanical engineering that occupy the gym a lot.
Okay, this one is a good interest. Coming to the next question, did you wish like you could do something in the school and like you had 3 years? I think it's a bit stupid question, but like, wish you could stay more in bachelor, and is it too early to finish university and begin much more serious stages of your career life, I would say?
Mhm.
Like, would you like to stay 1 more year and just, I don't know, have more time, chill more, maybe go out more?
Yeah. So it's a really good question. I sometimes ask myself the same question. So like at the time that I was planning to graduate a year early, I was telling friends and like other people from university. All of them were saying, like all of them were telling me not to do that, because like at some point everyone graduates. Like it's just a matter of time when you start working, and working is not fun. I'm not having fun. But I really don't regret my decision, because I feel like 3 years were enough for.
Yeah, I guess so. Because in the fourth year you kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I will probably get bored because I took lots of area electives, so I didn't have much to choose from.
Okay.
I could start a double major with the computer science department, but instead I went to the master's. So
Okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah. How was the professors basically? Like the courses you took, which one you liked the most? Maybe you liked the course because of the professor. Maybe you didn't like that much that course because of the professor, or was it kind of either related? Maybe it wasn't.
I think for the mechanical engineering department, we take a lot of courses from like different professors, and also from different departments as well. For the personally, I hated the history course. I hated everything social science related.
Not mechanical engineering.
Yeah, but for the mechanical engineering ones, I liked most of them. The one I liked the most, like couple courses that I liked the most were numerical methods by Murat Sözer. Like it was practically my master's degree. It was just a condensed version of it.
Yes, makes sense. Yeah, great.
Another one I liked was the graduation project.
Did you took it with Çağatay Hoca?
No, I took it with
Metin
Metin Hoca. Also, again, I really liked the fluid dynamics course. Yeah, most people don't like it, but I think it's really fun when you like get what you are studying. So as I was saying, I was always interested in the computational part of engineering. So the numerical methods course was like a bridge that connects engineering with coding or programming in general. So it helps you like tackle the engineering problems with computational methods. So it's a bit like the foundations of finite element analysis. Like you get to learn about the integration methods, like how to do numerical derivatives. Like it's just like the fundamentals of engineering, but instead of using a pen and a paper, you use coding. So it's a really good interface. As I was saying, like all of the professors in our department are like super valuable, and they are really knowledgeable. So we like as mechanical engineering students, we get to study courses from very different areas from different professors. So personally, I worked with Kerem Hoca. I took courses from Murat Hoca and Metin Hoca. But like overall, I truly believe that like there is a professor in our department that like someone would be interested in their research, because it's just really diverse. So like I would really advise students to like go up to the professors, tell them that like they are interested in their research and want to take part in it. I think that's like the biggest advantage of Koç University compared to the other universities, because we get to build relationships with the professors. So it's super valuable when you compare to the different universities, because when it comes to the other universities, you send an email to the professors, they don't reply, you show up, they tell you to go. So like that I believe like every student must consider, like building relationships with the professors, because like when you're applying to jobs, it helps. When you're applying to masters, it helps. When you're trying to conduct research, it helps.
Yeah, true.
So like at the end of the day, I may like someone else wouldn't like them, but I truly believe that like all of them are really valuable people.
But also like coming back to the thing you mentioned about the relationship with the professors. Like for example, whom from did you get the reference letter for your master's? I guess Kerem Hoca probably.
Yeah.
Firstly.
Yeah, I required two. So I took one from Metin City due to my research at Max Planck Institute, and second one from Kerem Hoca because I conducted like three different research projects with them.
Yeah.
So
makes sense,
yeah,
That's very good.
both of them were willing to give me the reference letters.
Also, like, is it easy for someone? I mean, basically, for a student, if he didn't take a course from that professor, do you think he will let you to work in his lab? I mean, what?
So like, you really don't need to like take a course from them. All you need is the enthusiasm that you show,
Yeah,
because
probably.
like they really are willing to give responsibility to the undergraduate students, because they require the work, like hard work, and the students require the experience. So it's a really good match. Like I truly believe that like if you just show up with some valid reasons and enthusiasm, they'd be willing to like accommodate you in their research lab.
Come back to our more social kind of questions. Again, about our university, about Koç. Do you ever cheated in exams? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It looks very. For me, in my opinion, it's very hard to get this kind of GPA. And what did you do? Like?
So maybe I can start talking a bit about my GPA.
Okay,
so like for the first year of uni we had pass fail. So I think I passed 2 or 3 courses that were super unrelated to our course. I think they were like social science classes. I really don't remember them. For those I passed them, and I had 2 other courses that I couldn't manage to get an A. Thus I have the gap on my GPA. It's not 4.0. So the 2 courses that I struggled was linear algebra. I got an A minus, unfortunately, and the other one was history. For the linear algebra, I have an excuse, and that was that I wasn't cheating at the time. It was my first semester at Koç, so
At that time.
yeah, at that time.
No,
I
we're discovering the secrets of the.
No, at that time, it was my first semester. I didn't know anyone, and I didn't know that people were cheating. So I struggled a lot with. And for the second one, the history one, I just didn't like the course. Like I tried memorizing, I tried learning, nothing really helped. I was probably going to fail the course after the first exam. Then I had to like properly study and then get enough marks to like have a proper mark. And back to your question for cheating, for the mechanical engineering courses, I wasn't really able to cheat because I would get the highest marks. Who am I going to cheat with?
Okay, I see. Like, I mean, in mechanical engineering, like, cheating is not very easy, as in business courses.
Yeah.
Cheating is bad, guys.
Yeah, don't cheat. Don't cheat.
Cheating is bad. Yeah, I see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for example, in the open kind of questions, you don't know even what questions will end up. So how you're gonna cheat, and ChatGPT won't help as well, even the advanced one. In my experience, it doesn't always help. And what about ChatGPT? Like, do you have any comments? Is it your opponent? Is it on your side?
So
do you use it, or you use your machine learning model?
No, like obviously I use it a lot for my both professional life, like at work, and my academical life. But at the time, it wasn't really a thing. So
Yeah.
for the second year, I believe most of the exams were online, but at the time GPT wasn't good enough, so I couldn't really cheat with it. But for the third year, I believe most of the exams were in person anyways. So it didn't help me with the exams, but I obviously used it while writing the reports or sometimes even studying with it. So it contributed, but not as much as it would contribute right now.
One more question regarding your future. I mean, your future career life. What do you plan to do? Basically, you said you got offers from some places, and do you want to continue that way? Do you want to get more advanced in academic life? And what are you doing, man? I started laughing because of you. Would you like to continue your academical career side, or would you like to continue maybe working? I mean, you said you got offers from some places, and which is better for you? What would you recommend to graduates, master graduates, or maybe bachelor graduates? Is it even a good idea to get masters, or is it good to start working maybe after bachelor, get some experience, understand where do you want to be, and after that start masters maybe?
So I'll start with my personal aims. Then maybe I can give couple advices as far as I know. So as I was saying, like it's working is not as fun as studying, like obviously, but personally I didn't want to pursue a PhD because it's just too much dedication and commitment. So my supervisor at the time for my master's, he wanted me to continue on working on this project, but yeah, conducting research for 4 years non-stop is a bit like hell. Like I really admire the people who are doing their PhDs, but I feel like I wouldn't really fit in. But like you never know. Maybe in 5 years or 10
maybe
years,
after getting some work experience.
Yeah, I can go back to academia and maybe actually pursue a PhD. So, like saying that I didn't want to do a PhD, I am working, and hopefully in the future I'll be working on I'll be working on more research related jobs, or in like more research oriented teams. So for the machine learning, like in the area of machine learning, it's super tough to land a job because the competition is just really high, like it's over the roof. And for even for the internships, the minimum requirements are a PhD.
4 out of 4, and you can't.
Yeah, like
beat that.
they just take in the PhDs. Like they don't even read your CV unless you have a PhD. And for the PhDs, you are competing with people that are coming from the top schools. So currently, I'll be working as a software engineer, but yeah, in the future, hopefully, I'll transition a bit more into the machine learning research side.
Okay. Now you made us worry. If you struggle, what expects us?
Maybe I can also go back to the advice bit. Like personally, I don't think doing your masters after working is a good idea, because for the most cases, the master's is learning oriented, unless you're in the US and like you actually conduct research. So like it's better to do it right away, such that like your knowledge is still fresh and like you don't forget stuff. But for the PhD, it's just up to the person. I wouldn't be able to.
Like from my personal experience, not from my personal, my friends, for example, who started the working after the bachelor right away, and they don't want to lose their job as well and coming back to masters, because you don't know what will happen. Like if you got a normal good job, respectively, they want to stay, or they're getting very lazy to study again, and Yeah, I
Yeah.
also think if you have enough time going to masters, if you don't rush to work,
Mhm.
that's a very good thing. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for this enjoyable session. It was very informative, and hope to see you again in our school as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for.
Thank you. Now gray screen and the questions from the background.
So, Professor Taşoğlu or Professor Karabeyoğlu?
Yes, I do know that. So from Arif Hoca, I took 2 courses. I enjoyed them a lot.
you did.
From Professor Taşoğlu, I only took one. It was mostly online, so I'll go with Arif Hoca.
All right. Professor Arif Karabeyoğlu or Professor Demircan Canadinç?
Unfortunately, I've never met Demircan Hoca, so I'll go with Arif Karabeyoğlu.
I see. All right. Professor Arif Karabeyoğlu or Professor İpek Başdoğan?
Tough question. From İpek Hoca, I took heat transfer. It was really enjoyable, and the exams weren't the hardest. So I think I'll go with İpek Hoca.
Professor İpek Başdoğan or Professor Erdem Alaca?
I think I took 2 courses from Erdem Hoca, but again they were a bit more challenging, so I'll go with. Actually, I'll go with Erdem Hoca.
All right. Okay, so Professor Erdem Alaca or Professor Levent Beker?
I'm not sure if I took any courses from.
You
Professor
did.
Beker.
Mac 401.
Oh yes, I'll just go with Erdem Hoca.
All right, okay. I'm sad now. Okay, so Professor Erdem Alaca or Professor İsmail Lazoğlu?
Erdem Alaca.
All right,
No comment.
okay. Professor Erdem Alaca or Professor Çağatay Başdoğan?
From Professor Başdoğan, I only took control, so I'll go with Erdem Hoca.
All right. All right, so Professor Erdem Alaca or Professor Kerem Pekkan?
Okay, that's the question that I was expecting. So I'll definitely go with Kerem Hoca because it's Kerem Hoca.
I see. But right now, see, we're in a pickle right now.
Okay.
All right, so let me continue then. Professor Kerem Pekkan or Professor Metin Muradoğlu?
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit tough. Both of them I truly enjoyed taking courses from, but I think I think I have to go with Kerem Hoca.
All right. Okay. Professor Kerem Pekkan or Professor Murat Sözer? What are you doing back there? I mean. All right.
Can I hear the question again? I want to make sure.
Professor Kerem Pekkan or Professor Murat Sözer?
Both of them, I love them as a person and also as a professor. So I cannot choose both of them, right? Okay.
You can.
No, I'll choose both of them.
All right, that's good. That's good.
I'll choose both of them.
All right.
Guess we're done.